Now, for a strange story out of rural Coffee County, residents there say they've heard unusual animal sounds at night, and several ATV riders say they've seen unusual-looking creatures in the distance.
New Jersey has always had strange sightings, but the newest findings push things into a different zone. Researchers found deep tunnels under the Pine Barrens that line up with long-reported cryptid hotspots. The patterns in the rock and the electrical shifts match data from West Virginia, eastern Oklahoma, and even the Congo Basin. These aren't rumors. The evidence shows something structured, something moving, and something digging with purpose. And for the first time, the cameras caught what's inside those tunnels. Underground caves with cryptid sightings. In 2015, the United States Geological Survey conducted a routine study that uncovered something unusual beneath the Earth's surface. Researchers discovered vast underground cave networks and strange electrical patterns in 4 widely separated locations. These locations are New Jersey's Pine Barrens, the hills of West Virginia, the Congo Basin, and eastern Oklahoma. These subterranean systems were not only far larger than expected for the geological formations they were found in, but they also exhibited repeating energy patterns that were too precise to be purely natural. What makes these findings even stranger is that each of these locations has long been associated with cryptid sightings. In New Jersey, the Pine Barrens have been home to reports of the Jersey Devil, a creature that's a winged, goat-headed figure capable of moving with incredible speed and agility. West Virginia is known for the Flatwoods Monster, a mysterious entity first reported in 1952 that appeared both mechanical and organic, emitting a nauseating odor and strange radiation. And then there's the Congo Basin, which is home to the Mokele Mbembe, which is a massive, dinosaur-like creature inhabiting remote swamps. Eastern Oklahoma is also the site of a dare beast and Bigfoot encounters, with massive footprints and eyewitness accounts spanning decades. Investigators have analyzed the underground tunnel and revealed an astonishing pattern. The cave systems across these 4 locations appear to align on a precise geometric grid. Not only are the tunnels similarly structured, but evidence suggests that the grid is expanding slowly toward a central point. It raises questions about whether the cryptids themselves are moving along these subterranean pathways. These researchers now suspect that the strange electrical activity might be linked to the presence of these creatures. In fact, the tunnels themselves are guiding their movement. Most of the facts provided by the experts are still unproven, but the physical evidence and electrical anomalies make it hard to ignore the cryptids caught on camera in New Jersey. Physical traces and electrical anomalies. Over a century, there have been many sightings of these 4 cryptid-linked locations, which have produced physical traces that deepen the mystery surrounding these beings. In West Virginia, the 1952 Flatwoods Monster encounter left behind physical symptoms in witnesses, like nausea, throat irritation, and a lingering metallic taste, along with an oily residue on the ground. The most striking was the radiation reading. Investigators recorded levels nearly twice the regional norm, which is a detail that the Air Force's official owl explanation failed to address. In the Congo Basin, explorers and researchers documented footprints measuring over 3 feet long, often accompanied by drag marks. This suggests that an enormous body is moving through the swamp. These prints reappeared across decades, from early 20th century expeditions to modern findings. It creates a continuous chain of physical evidence that points to something massive and reptilian in the region. As for eastern Oklahoma, investigators found claw marks carved directly into solid 300-million-year-old granite. Chemical analysis shows that the gouges were fresh, and it was something that no known animal could produce. These marks seem to also be in the underground cave networks, identified by the researchers decades later. The Pine Barrens of New Jersey is the home to the infamous Jersey Devil legend and produced plaster casts of cloven tracks from the 1909 mass sighting event. When modern analysts studied the preserved cast, they discovered rare subterranean minerals that were embedded in the impressions. These were minerals known to exist only thousands of feet underground, far deeper than any natural surface animal could access. Aside from physical evidence, each site is marked by unusual electrical behavior. There are erratic telegraph messages in New Jersey around the places where the Jersey Devil has been spotted, electromagnetic distortion in West Virginia, and repeating numeric sequences in more recent measurements. These patterns display a precision that geologists say does not happen naturally. It has also led theorists to come up with two ideas. One of these is that the anomalies are caused by some form of advanced unknown technology, and the second is that they might represent tears or distortions in reality itself. This allows interdimensional entities to appear and vanish. Ever since the cryptids were caught on camera in New Jersey and other places connected to the underground tunnels, it has been an online war between the skeptics who think there should be a more rational and normal explanation, and the supporters who state that the cryptids really exist. Skeptics versus supporters. Debate surrounding these cryptid hotspots has been spreading among investigators, as skeptics and supporters interpret the same evidence in different ways. Skeptics argue that many of the sightings can be traced to hoaxes, exaggeration, or simple misidentification. They often mention the 1909 Jersey Devil scare, which was later tied to a staged prank involving a kangaroo fitted with wings. Also, the Flatwoods monster encounter of 1953 has been dismissed by critics as nothing more than an owl perched on a branch, its features distorted by fear, darkness, and swirling mist. In the Congo, skeptics point out that early reports of Mokele Mbembe were influenced by local folklore and colonial misunderstandings, while Bigfoot sightings in Oklahoma were frequently attributed to bears, misread tracks, or deliberate fabrication. From this perspective, the stories grow larger, with retelling, solidifying legends rather than revealing literal creatures. Supporters, however, contend that dismissing the evidence overlooks the depth and consistency of the reports. Across all four locations, witnesses, often including police officers, military personnel, explorers, and researchers, describe similar features and behaviors. Physical evidence supports their claims. There are footprints too large for any known animal, granite claw marks in Oklahoma, unusual radiation readings in West Virginia, and rare minerals found in plaster casts from New Jersey. All these elements can't be simply ignored as folklore or imagination. There have also been some geological findings as provided by the USGC. The underground cave networks documented under every cryptid hotspot, combined with repeated energy patterns and electromagnetic anomalies, suggest that there are strange anomalies out there that we still can't believe. Although these cryptids caught on camera in New Jersey, West Virginia, Oklahoma, and Congo come with strong evidence, there are still alternative theories about these underground tunnels. Alternative theories. A growing number of researchers believe the strange sightings and physical traces observed across the four global hotspots may stem from something that's far more complex than undiscovered animals or secret cave-dwelling species. There are many things we don't understand about this world, so scientists believe cryptids might just be animals that we haven't discovered yet. But there's another theory that tries to explain these cryptids, which are interdimensional entities. These emerge through cracks in reality, triggered by the electrical anomalies recorded at each site. Supporters of this idea point to the repeated numeric signatures that were found in the electromagnetic field. These are patterns so precise and so consistent across distant regions that they appear engineered rather than natural. Electromagnetic fluctuations usually happen before sightings, suggesting that there's a possible gateway-like effect where the boundary between dimensions is just long enough for something to cross through. The supporters of this theory explain why eyewitness descriptions vary in detail, yet share a similar sense of unnatural movement, odd proportions, or an atmosphere of distortion around the creature. They suggest these beings might not be stable in our reality, so they appear as partially manifested forms that adapt or malfunction when interacting with the physical environment. This might explain why we keep on finding pieces of evidence like unusual footprints, mineral-embedded casts, radiation pockets, and claw marks that do not match any known biological species. Interdimensional theorists also point to the geometric grid of underground tunnels as a possible network of energy convergence points, rather than literal transportation routes. They say the grid might act as a structural lattice that influences dimensional boundaries, so each hotspot represents a node where crossings are easiest. The grid between the four locations seems to be expanding toward a central location, and some speculate it could signal a growing alignment or a larger event building over decades. New Jersey remains one of the most important parts of this grid, especially since it's not home to only one cryptid, but multiple options that have been spotted over the decades. Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil is one of the most enduring cryptid legends in American folklore, said to haunt the vast pine barrens of southern New Jersey. According to legend, its origin dates back to 1735, when Mother Leeds, often identified as Deborah Leeds, gave birth to her 13th child in a curse-filled moment, declaring, "Let this one be a devil." The baby apparently transformed into a winged, hoofed creature and flew up the chimney into the night. The most dramatic burst of reported activity occurred during a week in January 1909, when hundreds of people across New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware claimed they saw sightings of the Jersey Devil. At that time, newspapers reported hoof-like tracks in the snow, glowing red eyes, and a beast flying above rooftops and treetops. Some reports even claimed that the creature attacked a trolley car, prompting such widespread fear that schools shut down and groups formed to hunt the beast. Several physical traces also support this lore. Some saw distinct hoof-like footprints, which were reportedly found in snow and difficult to reach places. Investigators also proposed that these tracks are evidence of a creature capable of squeezing under low gaps, jumping over obstacles, and moving rapidly over long distances. Adding to the mystery, some researchers have speculated that the remote terrain and hidden caverns in Pine Barren might hide a pterodactyl-like or other prehistoric animal, while others say it might have supernatural or demonic explanations. Beast of Lake Hopatcong. Another cryptid caught on camera in New Jersey is the Beast of Lake Hopatcong, often called Hoppy. This is one of New Jersey's most intriguing lake cryptids. It's believed to resemble a giant serpent, and locals have reported sightings dating back to the late 1800s. In 1894, a fisherman claimed he saw a creature with a 40-foot snake-like body and the head of a St. Bernard or Burmese dog slithering on the water surface. The boater tried to shoot the beast, but the bullet bounced off its head, and the man even said it winked at him. Over the years, Hoppy has developed an interesting reputation. It's not known as a menacing monster, but more like a shy, mysterious creature that seems to prefer avoiding people. There have been reports of ripples and dark shapes beneath water. Some cryptid investigators say that the Hoppy could be a remnant of prehistoric megafauna or a large aquatic reptile that somehow survived in the lake's depths. In more recent years, the mystery has shifted toward reptiles. In 2014, residents reported seeing a massive snake, up to 20 feet long, that looked like a boa constrictor, or green anaconda swimming in Lake Hopatkong. Animal control set traps but never caught it, and there was no biological evidence that they could use to trace it. But there's another cryptid that has been seen on the lakes of New Jersey: Cape May sea monster. The Cape May sea monster, sometimes called the Cape May sea serpent, is a long-standing cryptid legend along New Jersey's southern coast. According to historical reports, a massive serpentine creature was seen off Cape May as early as the mid-1800s. In an 1855 article in the New York Times, witnesses describe a creature over 100 feet long with a horse-like head moving through the waves. The most striking piece of alleged evidence came in September 1921, when a huge, decomposing carcass washed ashore at Cape May. Observers estimated that its weight was roughly 15 tons, and they also noticed that it had strange features that didn't match any known marine species, like the long tusks protruding from its jaws. Newspaper and eyewitness reports claimed that the body defied easy classification. It was not clearly a whale or any familiar sea mammal. Cryptid researchers say that this might be an unknown or extinct species, possibly a prehistoric marine animal. But there are other normal explanations, like the carcass decomposing or the jaw splitting and creating a tusk-like appearance. Still, the corpse was investigated by scientists, and they never revealed what they found out. Hoboken Monkey Man. New Jersey is also home to the Hoboken Monkey Man, another cryptid that gained attention in the early 1980s. Locals say that the creature was half human, half ape. It was hairy, feral, and menacing toward children. Some even claimed it threw kids out of windows or attacked them, and rumors went as far as alleging a teacher was killed. One of the more detailed first-hand accounts comes from Jack D., who said in 1981 that he saw a creature hanging from a tree near River Road, which is now called Sinatra Drive. He described it as ape-like, covered in matted hair, wearing scraps of animal skin, and emitting grunts or growls. Another report comes from a Bayonne resident, whose child allegedly saw a monkey-faced, hairy man walking a dog near old industrial areas. Despite the dramatic stories, Hoboken police denied that any credible evidence backed the legend. According to accounts, the city never formed a real task force to hunt the creature, and investigators failed to find any reliable witnesses. Some skeptics suggest the stories were fueled by mass hysteria or used by local parents to scare children into behaving. But residents in New Jersey are also terrified of another cryptid, which is the Hudson River Monster. Hudson River Monster. The Hudson River Monster, also known by the nickname Kipsy, is a long-running cryptid legend tied to the Hudson River, especially along the waterfronts in New York and neighboring New Jersey. Descriptions from sightings dating as far back as the late 19th and early 20th centuries portray Kipsy as a serpentine or sea monster-like creature, sometimes reported to be 50 feet long, with a head reminiscent of a sea serpent or crocodile. One significant piece of historical evidence comes from a news report from the New York Times in June 1899. During this time, crews aboard well-known ships such as the Half Moon and the Clermont claimed to see a dark, undulating creature in the river. Over the years, other eyewitnesses described the creature rearing from the water, sometimes forming humps or long necks visible above the river's surface. Even in modern times, a photograph shared by Hudson Valley resident Jo Ann Martin showed a strange serpentine shape in the river, with a tail or neck protruding above the water. Although some say this is just debris or floating logs, others make it hard to ignore, especially when you look at all the other witness accounts. Big Red Eye. The Big Red Eye is a cryptid said to haunt the wooded mountains of northwestern New Jersey, especially around the Kittatinny Ridge in Sussex County. The creature stands as tall as 7 to 8 feet, walks upright, and is covered in thick hair. It's different from other cryptid stories because it's really terrifying, with glowing red eyes. The reports of Big Red Eye date back to the 1970s. A retired forest ranger, Tom Card, claims he heard a blood-curdling wailing sound during a night shift in High Point State Park, followed by the sight of 2 panicked rangers running through the woods. Another ranger later described encountering an 8-foot-tall figure with glowing red eyes in the darkness. Over time, witnesses reported more than just glimpses. In 1977, a Wantage family named Seitz described repeated encounters with the creature. Barbara Seitz recounted hearing what sounded like a woman being killed in the night, then finding her garage torn off its hinges and several of the family's rabbits badly mutilated. It is said that the beast lets loose with screaming or howling that echoes through the forest, especially late at night. It sounds so strange and bone-chilling that they left local residents too afraid to investigate. There's even a festival of the Big Red Eye in Wantage Township, celebrating the local legend with music, stories, and speakers. Other local legends. New Jersey is home to different cryptids, and some might be local legends, and others might be real. Another chilling piece is the Devil's Tree, a lone, gnarled oak in Bernards Township. Local legends hold that the tree is cursed. Anyone that disrespects it by carving, urinating, or even touching can face misfortune. Then there's the Great Swamp in Somerset County, where people speak of a creature called the Great Swamp Devil, or Howler. According to folklore, this beast sometimes appears as a tall, hairy man, or transforms into a winged demon. Locals report hearing its disembodied, bone-chilling howls echoing through the swamp. And some say they've even seen glowing red eyes lurking in the darkness. Cryptids have been caught on camera in New Jersey, with investigations revealing more about where they might be from. What is the connection between the cryptids and the tunnels? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. So, thanks for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one.